Today we're talking about the top 5 products that you can buy and resell with the largest profit margins. They're going to make you the most money if you're looking into buying and reselling, and you don't want to go through the realm of making your own products or anything. You just want to be able to buy something used and resell it, and that is your business model. I'm going to give you the rundown of the highest profit items, and this is somebody that's been doing this for 15 years now, buying and reselling, and I've done everything. I've tried everything in different markets, and I can give you a full rundown. I also want to be very clear, what you're going to hear in this video is different from every other video, because every other video people don't actually do the work and they don't actually buy and resell, and they don't actually make real money doing it. They make the content that sounds super sexy for YouTube and gonna make you tons of money and make you a millionaire. I'm just gonna give you a rundown of how to make actual money, right? You're not gonna spin your wheels here. You will make legitimate money at the get-go. It'll be easier to do. You're gonna learn some extreme skill sets, and this will be, if this is something you're interested in, this is the only video you need to watch to get started, honestly. Like everything else, you're gonna spin your wheels on. Number 1, it depends on your market a little bit. We're going with lawnmowers and snow blowers, right? Oh yeah, I started with something that's not entirely easy. Yes, it requires you to do some tune-up work. Is that work hard to do? Absolutely not. You can intake a lawnmower or snowblower, and in 35 minutes with a few dollars, quite literally a few dollars, get it back running or running better and resell it. The reason why we're doing lawnmowers and snowblowers, we're talking about an industry where these things break fairly easily. We're looking at gas powered only. They break fairly easily, meaning they run rough because most people don't take care of gasoline engines. And the second they start running rough, people don't know enough that they just need a little bit of maintenance to fix them. So what's gonna happen? What's the rundown? This is exactly what I've been doing for the last decade. You go on Facebook Marketplace, right? And you look at free groups local to you. So you join, and this is gonna apply to everything else that we talk about for the rest of this video. Join all of your local free groups. There are groups where people post products for free, just like come and take them, they're junk or whatever, and then go to Facebook Marketplace. You are then gonna start either taking free broken lawnmowers or snowblowers, or ones that are priced really cheaply because they're not running correctly, or just start lowballing people. And you're going to intake lawnmowers for very little money. You're going to change the spark plug, which costs between $6 and $10. You're going to clean the carburetor with some carburetor spray and clean the line out, which carburetor spray, you could do 100 lawnmowers or whatever for a $15 bottle of carb spray, right? And then you're going to clean it with some soap and water, and that's all you're going to do. 1 out of 10 of them are going to be unfixable or outside of your realm. You'll eventually learn how to fix them, but those are going to be the ones that are just duds in the process. You're going to be making so much money that it's not going to make sense. And I can tell you pretty consistently that I pay between $0 and $50 for lawnmowers, and I sell them between $200 and $500 consistently, year round. I'm in the Massachusetts market, so I get snowblowers and lawnmowers. But regardless of where you are, gas-powered appliances and gas-powered tools, I consistently do this. And other people do it, right? It's like you're not going to be alone, but you can consistently make money and consistently turn a profit. And if you do 1 a day, 5 days a week, you're going to make 50 or 60K a year, guaranteed. Like, I mean, for sure. And you're going to get better and better at as you do it. And then you're going to really be able to fix the ones that are harder to fix, but that are free because they're harder to fix. And then your margins are great because you didn't spend any money really getting the lawnmower in the first place. You might turn it for $200, $300, $400. So that's number 1. That one's easy, right? Like there's money to be made there. That's not hard to get into. You can get a lawnmower tomorrow if you try it. Even if it's like $50 and it has some problems, you can go out and get it tomorrow and start working on it. Number 2, yeah, this one's gonna take some effort. Boats. Whoa, that's crazy. I don't live near by the ocean. Well, there are lakes by you. The boat industry across the United States is insane. Like there are boats everywhere. People always have boats. It's a recreational vehicle. And if you get to a point where a boat isn't running great or it's in bad shape, people want to offload them. People want turnkey boats. And how do I know this? I've been in the boat world for my entire life. I sailed in college. I've been in boats my entire life. And boats you can pick up for free or very, very cheap relative to what they can be sold for. It is not that crazy to think that you can pick up a boat from $0 to $500 and sell it for between $5,000 and $10,000. That might sound ridiculous to you, right? Well, there's one caveat here. It takes some effort, right? You gotta rehab the boat. But like the lawnmowers or anything else, it's actually not that complicated. A lot of it's visual work. It's a lot of cleaning. You might have to do a little fiberglass work. Not as hard as you think. One YouTube video and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm a fiberglasser, right? You might have to do a little bit of work on the engine, you know, oil change, whatever type of engine it is. oh my gosh, YouTube or engines are all the same. It's really easy to work on them. Or, oh my gosh, I got a free boat and I can sell it for 10 grand. I got to spend $500 because I've got all this extra money because I've been doing this so much on a new engine because this engine's not workable. Oh wow, my margins are still thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm going to do it. Boats are a great way to do it. It is not hard to find a boat for under a grand or free. Honestly, free, because people want it off their lot or property on a trailer for very little money, and a boat that in decent shape could be 5 to 10 grand. I've seen people and I know people that turn boats that are like 2 to 3 grand for $20,000 profits. Yeah, it takes them a couple weeks to work on the boat, but you just got to do like 5 or 6 of them in a year and you could be in the, low 6 figures. Like I've got friends that do this year round. Boats, yeah. Again, this isn't something you've heard on another YouTube video because the people that actually do this don't want to talk about it. So that's why you're not hearing rehab and resell boats, because the people that do it, like they're like, we don't want competition. But I'm just telling you now, I can say it because I'm no longer in a period in my life where there's enough money to be made in that for it to be interesting for me, but certainly something that I would do on a personal standpoint. I do plan on getting another boat at some point. I'm going to get it for free and rebuild it myself. Here we go. This one's an interesting one. This is quite literally more the volume game. Used car parts, not used cars, used car parts, and specifically aftermarket parts, right? When people modify their cars or they work on their cars, they accumulate car parts. Often shops or people will then work on cars and buy more car parts that they need for a project and won't be able to return them, so they sell them. It's really easy to buy and scoop up used car parts or car parts on Facebook Marketplace or on Craigslist for not a lot of money relative to what they're worth for the person that needs them. Now the game here is accumulating a lot and then having them for sale for a longer horizon period, so their time for sale is longer. But when you sell them, you can sell them to near MSRP for the part, and people are usually quick to convert because they need the part when the time comes. So there's a large margin here. So you can usually get parts for less than 50% of what they are. You can usually get 100% return on your money spent. The game here is just it's not like have 5 used car parts. You have to go in and be like, I'm gonna try to pick up 200 or 300, and then I'm gonna learn where to post them and where to make sure that they're for sale so they do get scooped up. And this is something that you can do, and I did a lot in college, right? This is something that you can do and really create revenue and have holdings and really create kind of a monster that will feed itself, because it's not hard to spend a weekend go accumulating parts and then sell them for 6 months. Like, it's a different type of buy and resell. There's a lot of money to be had here. It's a huge industry. The last one's really self-explanatory. It's something that does require a lot of skills, and it's something that a lot of people don't mention when they're talking about reselling, because it seems like it's a lot of work, and it is, don't get me wrong, but it's cars, right? There are rules about how many cars you can sell in different states without being a dealer, but the rule is I've always maxed that out, right? I wait a long time to find the right car that I can work on. I love cars with cosmetic damage. I pay the least amount possible. I fix the cosmetic damage and I sell it, right? And I try to do 2 or 3 a year, and I consistently am getting, 3 to 5 grand a car. Doesn't sound like a ton of money, but it's something that you can do long form when you're doing one of these other things. I'd avoid cars with mechanical problems. I just look for cars that have big dents, rust, things that you can fix that people are going to discount their cars, and just make them lowball offers and lowball people enough until somebody converts. Fix the car, make it look really nice, and resell it on the market. It will sell. I've done it for a lot. One of my best examples is I bought a commuter car when I was commuting a lot for my job. It was a Mazda 3. I paid $2,300 for it because it needed a ton of work. I drove it for a year and a half. I put 50,000 miles on it in a year and a half. Yeah, crazy. And I sold it for $7,000. The market wasn't inflated. It was before COVID. It wasn't like used car prices got up. I just bought an $8,000 car that looked in terrible shape, put a couple weeks of work within it, maybe $100 worth of putty, paint, all that kind of stuff to fix a bunch of rust problems it had. I think I replaced one coilover. That's probably a little bit out of the scope that you guys need to take on, but it was a lot of just cosmetic stuff. I got a really good deal, and I made a lot of money on it, right? I quite literally made, I think I cleared after my cost to register, sales tax. I think I made just shy of 5 grand on that car, and I put 50,000 miles on it over 18 months of driving. Last on our list is, again, something that requires a little bit of work, but again, I'm giving you guys the real ones. These are the ones that you can make money on it, and it's bicycles, right? Bikes. The bicycle and bike industry is actually huge. If you're not familiar, and you shouldn't be familiar unless you're in the industry and you use and ride a lot, bikes are worth a lot of money, right? And people that often ride bikes then buy new bikes and they sell their old bikes, and often they just sell them to get rid of them because bikes take up a lot of space. I bike a lot, right? And I've been in the world of used bikes. And a great example is just recently I had a friend get a Trek, right? A 2021 model, spent about $500 for it. It's worth like $3,000, right? But the person just needed it out because they bought a new bike, they wanted it gone, they wanted a little bit of money, they wanted to sell it quickly. It is a good deal, right? Happens all the time, right? The bike industry is huge. There's also plenty of people that have really rundown bikes, right? Or bikes that have small problems that they're like $20, right? And you can resell the bike for $300-400 with a very little fix. Bikes are also mechanically very simple. So once you learn how to work on them, it's very, very easy to work on them, right? And parts are very, very inexpensive for bikes, right? Like if a chain breaks or somebody's got a problem with a chain or a wheel that isn't true, it's very inexpensive and easy to fix those things once you've done it once or twice. And it's really easy to turn bikes, right? Finding bikes with problems that are undervalued because the seller just wants to get rid of them. It's really easy to find that. And then people buy bikes all the time. They're actually really easy to sell quickly. Like if you list a used bike on Facebook Marketplace, like in under 30 days, it's going to sell. Now that might sound like a long time, but for other things, like if you resell like what everyone talks about, like appliances or couches, right? All those like furniture resellers, you could sit on a couch for 2 years, right? You just don't know. And like the furniture was like the biggest scam ever, and everybody talks about like furniture resale. It's so hard to do and it's so competitive and the margins are so large. That's why I'm talking about all these other things that I've done because I've found success in them, and all my friends that do this full time, right? Don't have a job, they just resell. This is what they're doing, right? So bikes are the last one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Any of this stuff you can start tomorrow. All these things you can fix with YouTube videos, right? They're all inexpensive to work on and you can make money tomorrow with. So if this is something you're interested in doing it, I just say, just go out and try it. Like try all of them and just try to find something free. Get it for free on like a free Facebook Marketplace group or Facebook group on a free group, and just resell it and then see if you like the process, right? Make a quick $50, $100, see if you like the process, and then just kind of rinse and repeat and go from there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.